You're standing in a room and someone walks in. There's nothing outwardly extraordinary about them. No dramatic gestures, no commanding voice. Yet, something shifts. The air feels charged, like they've brought a presence so profound it's impossible to ignore. It's not intimidation, but a quiet certainty that makes you hesitate before speaking, unsure if your words will hold up under their gaze. These are the people we call highly spiritual. They don't just exist in the world. They seem to move with it, or perhaps through it, as if they're connected to something vast and unseen. At first glance, their aura of peace might seem comforting. But beneath that calm surface lies something powerful, an intensity you weren't prepared for. When we think of spirituality, we picture tranquility. Serene individuals meditating under a tree, radiating kindness. But here's the twist. Not all spiritual people fit that mold. Some carry an inner strength so potent it unsettles those around them. Their energy isn't just about soothing others. It's a force that can challenge, confront, and yes, even intimidate. This isn't about physical danger. It's about a presence that gets under your skin, bypassing the walls you've built to protect your inner self. You're not entirely sure how, but you know they see right through you, to your fears, your insecurities, even the lies you tell yourself. And in that moment, you realize you're dealing with someone whose power is unlike anything you've encountered before. Stay with me, because this journey is only just beginning. You might have been told that spiritual people are always calm and compassionate, beacons of unwavering peace. But the reality is far more complex. Beneath the surface of their stillness lies a depth of strength that defies stereotypes. A strength that can feel almost intimidating. Highly spiritual individuals are not confined to the image of the meditative monk or the serene sage. Instead, they embody a balance between peace and power, a combination that is as mysterious as it is magnetic. They've cultivated their energy over years of introspection, refining their intuition and perception into tools sharper than any blade. Picture yourself in their presence. Words spoken to them carry weight, not because they react emotionally, but because they listen with an unnerving intensity. They don't just hear what you're saying. They feel it, dissect it, and see beyond it. Your tone, your body language, even the subtlest hesitation. None of it escapes their notice. It's this combination of clarity and insight that sets them apart. While most of us navigate life distracted by noise and chaos, they move with purpose. They've mastered the art of discernment, cutting through the fog of confusion to see the essence of a situation, a person, or a truth. And this is where the unexpected danger lies. It's not physical strength or manipulation. It's their ability to perceive what others overlook, to understand you before you even understand yourself. And that kind of awareness, it demands a new level of respect. Have you ever spoken to someone who seems to already know what you're going to say? Not in a way that interrupts or feels rude, but in a way that leaves you exposed. Highly spiritual individuals possess a kind of awareness that goes far beyond mere observation. Their perception isn't just sharp, it's deeply intuitive, as though they're attuned to a frequency most of us don't even realize exists. When you stand before them, there's a quiet but undeniable sense that you can't hide. They don't need to interrogate you or confront you directly. Their presence alone seems to draw out truths you didn't even know you were concealing. It's not magic, nor is it any kind of mystical trick. It's the result of years of self-reflection, meditation, and the honing of their inner vision. In social settings, this perceptive ability makes them both admired and feared. They can read between the lines of every conversation, detecting the smallest inconsistencies in tone or body language. While others are distracted by surface-level chatter, these individuals are quietly decoding the true motivations and emotions of those around them. This makes them formidable. Imagine being in a negotiation where every feigned smile, every calculated pause, and every veiled intention is laid bare before someone who can see straight through it all. Their ability to detect insincerity isn't just a skill, it's a force. And yet, this power is subtle. They don't flaunt it or use it to manipulate, at least not in the way we usually think of manipulation. But their presence is enough to make people reconsider their words, their actions, and even their own beliefs. Because when someone sees through you, They leave you with no choice but to confront the truth, whether you're ready for it or not. Standing firm when the world is against you, that's the essence of conviction. For highly spiritual individuals, this isn't just an occasional act of courage. It's their way of being. Their beliefs are not merely opinions or ideas. They are the foundation of their existence, forged through profound introspection and deeply personal experiences. When they speak, there's no hesitation, no room for doubt. It's not arrogance, but an unshakable certainty that flows from their connection to something greater than themselves. Whether it's a principle, a truth they've uncovered, or a cause they believe in, they hold on to it with a quiet intensity that disarms those around them. This unflinching conviction can be both inspiring and intimidating. In debates, they don't raise their voice or resort to emotional pleas. Instead, they remain composed, their calmness more powerful than any shouted argument. Their certainty has a gravity to it, a force that seems to draw others in, making even the most skeptical pause and reconsider. But this strength also makes them challenging adversaries. It's nearly impossible to sway someone who is so deeply rooted in their truth. And while their calm demeanor might seem like an invitation for negotiation, it often masks a steely resolve. They're not unkind or unwilling to listen. They simply won't bend when it comes to what they know to be right. This conviction doesn't just guide their words, it shapes their actions. When a highly spiritual person commits to something, it becomes a mission. They aren't deterred by obstacles or criticism because their vision is fixed on a higher purpose. And this, perhaps, is where their true power lies. In their ability to persist when others falter, to remain steady even in the face of overwhelming opposition. In the chaos of life, most people flinch. When the unexpected happens, emotions run wild. Fear, anger, frustration take the lead. But for highly spiritual individuals, it's different. They don't break under pressure. They don't lash out or retreat. Instead, they become even more centered, drawing on a well of emotional resilience that feels almost unshakable. This resilience isn't the absence of emotion, it's mastery over it. They feel pain just like anyone else, but they don't let it consume them. Instead, they view challenges as opportunities to grow, to deepen their understanding of themselves and the world around them. It's as if every setback is just another step on a path they've already chosen to walk. Imagine a room filled with people in a state of panic, voices rising, tension building. In the middle of it all, there's one person who remains calm. They aren't ignoring the chaos. They're absorbing it, analyzing it, and waiting for the right moment to act. That calmness isn't passive. It's powerful, commanding attention without a single word. Their ability to maintain clarity in the storm doesn't just benefit them. It transforms the atmosphere around them. When others are overwhelmed, their presence becomes a grounding force, a reminder that the world doesn't have to unravel just because things aren't going according to plan. This calm, however, is not easily achieved. It comes from years of cultivating a mindset that values purpose over impulse. They trust in a larger order, a cosmic rhythm that makes even the most chaotic situations feel temporary. And it's this trust that allows them to face the most difficult moments without fear or hesitation. Their resilience makes them reliable in crisis, but it also makes them formidable. Where others might crumble under pressure, they remain steady, their clear-headedness giving them an edge in any conflict or negotiation. And that is the kind of strength that leaves a lasting impression on everyone around them. There's something almost uncanny about the way highly spiritual individuals seem to know things others don't. They don't rely on surface-level cues or logical deductions alone. Their decisions often come from a place that feels instinctive, almost otherworldly. This intuition is their most potent tool, a skill sharpened by years of self-reflection, mindfulness, and connection to the unseen threads of life. In situations where others might hesitate or overanalyze, they act decisively. It's not recklessness. It's a quiet confidence born from a deep understanding of patterns, emotions, and energies that most people overlook. Their ability to sense what's beneath the surface allows them to navigate even the most complex situations with clarity. Consider a negotiation. While others are focused on words and numbers, They're paying attention to the unspoken, the tone, the pauses, the shifting body language. Before a proposal is even laid out, they've already read the room, identified the hidden agendas, and anticipated the next move. This ability isn't limited to interpersonal interactions. In broader settings, their intuition allows them to see connections that others miss. They recognize opportunities in chaos, detect risks in seemingly perfect plans, and sense shifts in the atmosphere long before they occur. It's as if they're always a step ahead, guided by an inner compass that never falters. But this intuition isn't just a gift. It's a skill cultivated through years of spiritual practice. Meditation, mindfulness, and deep introspection have trained them to quiet the noise of the external world and tune into the subtleties of their surroundings. For them, intuition isn't a mysterious phenomenon. It's a muscle they've worked to strengthen. This sharpness gives them an edge that's hard to match. In environments where predictability and control are prized, their ability to see the unseen and act without hesitation makes them a force to be reckoned with. And for those who underestimate them, that's where the danger lies. In a world obsessed with wealth, status, and possessions, highly spiritual individuals stand apart. Their values seem almost alien to the rest of us. While many chase material success, they operate on an entirely different wavelength, one where money and power are mere tools, not goals. This detachment isn't indifference. It's liberation. They've come to understand that true fulfillment doesn't come from what you own but from who you are and how deeply you connect with the essence of life. For them, the accumulation of things isn't a measure of success but a distraction from what really matters. Imagine encountering someone in a high-stakes negotiation where every participant is vying for financial advantage. Yet, there they sit, utterly unfazed by the monetary stakes. Their calm disinterest in material gain can be unnerving. They can walk away without hesitation because their sense of worth isn't tied to the deal on the table. It's rooted in something far more enduring. This kind of detachment gives them a unique power. Threats that might rattle others, losing money, status, or influence, simply don't work on them. You can't control someone who doesn't fear material loss. And that freedom makes them unpredictable and formidable in any scenario where stakes are measured in dollars or prestige. But their detachment doesn't mean they're disengaged. In fact, it often allows them to focus on the bigger picture, to see value where others cannot. While the rest of the world is fixated on profit, they're thinking about impact, meaning, and legacy. This perspective often leads them to make decisions that seem counterintuitive in the short term but prove visionary in the long run. Their ability to challenge societal norms about success and power forces those around them to rethink their priorities. It's not that they reject materialism outright, they simply refuse to let it define them. And that makes their presence in any space transformative, sometimes uncomfortably so. They don't have to shout. They don't have to demand. The power of highly spiritual individuals lies not in what they say or do, but in who they are. Their presence alone is enough to shift the energy in a room. It's not charisma in the traditional sense. It's deeper, subtler, and far more impactful. When they walk into a space, people notice. Conversations slow, emotions settle, and an almost imperceptible calm takes over. This isn't manipulation. It's alignment. Their energy resonates with a frequency that naturally draws others in, creating a sense of trust and curiosity. You want to listen, not because they're louder or more persuasive, but because they carry a weight of truth that feels undeniable. This influence extends beyond mere presence. When they speak, their words have a clarity and depth that cut through superficial chatter. They have a way of articulating ideas that make even the most complex concepts seem accessible, as if they're tapping into a universal understanding that everyone else is just beginning to grasp. But their influence is not without risk. This magnetic quality can, at times, inspire a kind of devotion that borders on blind faith. For some, their spiritual depth becomes a beacon, drawing followers who seek guidance and meaning. While many spiritual leaders use this influence responsibly, there's always the potential for it to tip into dangerous territory. Followers surrendering their autonomy, mistaking wisdom for infallibility. Even so, the vast majority of these individuals use their presence to uplift and inspire. They don't seek to control others. They aim to illuminate paths, empower choices, and encourage introspection. Their influence is a byproduct of their authenticity, not a tool for manipulation. And this authenticity is what makes them both compelling and, at times, intimidating. Fear rules most lives. It dictates choices, shapes relationships, and builds invisible walls that confine us. But for highly spiritual individuals, fear holds a very different place. It's not a master, not even an adversary. It's a teacher, one they've learned to listen to, understand, and ultimately rise above. They don't avoid fear or pretend it doesn't exist. Instead, they face it head-on, using their spiritual practices to dismantle its grip. Whether it's the fear of failure, rejection, or even death, they approach it with a calm curiosity. What is this fear trying to tell me? What can I learn from it? These questions transform fear from something paralyzing into something enlightening. This mastery over fear is especially evident in moments of crisis. While others spiral into anxiety and desperation, they remain grounded, as though they can see the chaos for what it truly is, temporary. Their ability to maintain clarity and purpose under pressure isn't just impressive. It's unsettling for those who rely on emotional reactions to navigate challenges. Perhaps most profound is their perspective on death. For them, death isn't an end but a transition, a natural part of the soul's journey. This view doesn't eliminate the pain of loss, but it strips away the terror that so often accompanies the unknown. It's this relationship with mortality that gives them a quiet audacity, a willingness to take risks and confront challenges that others might shy away from. This transcendence of fear is what makes them truly free. Free to act without hesitation, to speak without doubt, to live without the invisible chains that hold so many back. It's not that they're fearless, it's that they've learned how to navigate fear without letting it control them. And in a world driven by uncertainty, this freedom is perhaps their most awe-inspiring trait. There's an undeniable paradox to highly spiritual individuals. They inspire awe with their calm, their insight, and their ability to navigate life's complexities. But this same strength can provoke unease, even fear, in those who encounter them. How can someone so peaceful also be so powerful? How can someone so composed wield such influence? Part of this duality comes from their ability to reveal truths about others and about the world. Their presence often forces people to confront things they'd rather ignore. Hidden insecurities, unresolved conflicts, and uncomfortable realities. While this can be transformative, it's rarely easy. Not everyone is ready for the kind of mirror these individuals hold up. Their power isn't just in what they do, it's in what they represent. They challenge societal norms, refusing to conform to conventional measures of success or control. Their independence and detachment from material concerns disrupt systems that rely on fear and desire to maintain order. And that disruption can feel threatening to those who benefit from the status quo. Yet, their power also brings hope. For those who are ready to grow, to question, and to evolve, these individuals serve as living proof of what's possible. They show that strength doesn't have to come from domination, that influence doesn't require manipulation, and that true freedom begins within. But with great power comes great responsibility. While most highly spiritual individuals use their gifts to heal, guide, and inspire, the intensity of their presence carries the risk of misinterpretation or misuse. It's a delicate balance, one that they navigate with a level of self-awareness that sets them apart. Highly spiritual individuals are both a comfort and a challenge. They remind us of the potential within ourselves, the power of truth, and the freedom that comes from facing life's uncertainties without fear. But they also demand something in return: honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront what lies beneath the surface. They are not to be underestimated, not because they seek to harm, but because their presence alone can transform, and transformation by its very nature is never easy. Their duality is what makes them so compelling. They are the calm in the storm and the storm in the calm, a paradox that reshapes our understanding of power, influence, and what it truly means to live with purpose.